Behold, forlorn brethren, the long-awaited review by me of the Ruger RXM. So, what do we know about the Ruger RXM? Well, it's a Glick clone, more specifically a Gen 3 Glick clone. Just to save you some time, I have deduced that the Ruger RXM is pretty alright. It will not stand up to the amount of abuse that an actual Glick can, but with proper correct maintenance and lubrication, it does all right. What have I done to test the RXM? Well, I've shot over 2,000 rounds through it without cleaning it, lubing it once. I've carried it, I've submerged it, I've put it in all the grease and all the grime of my job. My hands are fairly clean at the moment, but generally speaking, I'm kind of a dirty fella. Inevitably, the pocket lint and grime buildup from, EDC in a sidearm such as this caused it to have some malfunctions here and there. This only ever happened after about 2,000 rounds without cleaning it, etc., and the gradual overall buildup of things in the inner workings of the sidearm caused it to have light primer strikes. This is a problem. So no, you cannot go 10,000 rounds on a Ruger without cleaning it or lubing it correctly and expect it to be 100% reliable like you can with a Glick. What are some of the good features about the RXM that I really like? Well, I like the fact that you don't need an adapter plate to put a dot on it. That's pretty awesome. It's direct mount and it's universal, so you can put multiple different styles of dots directly to the slide. That's good. I like that. Glick needs to take note of this. Now, the trigger is something a lot of folks talk about, ask about. Is it better than a Glick? Well, it's definitely less crunchy, very reminiscent of the Glick performance triggers. I believe you can get them from Glick. They just drop in. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same. It is still firmly in the category of a combative sidearm trigger. This is still pretty much just a polished Gen 3 Glick. I do appreciate the magwell flare. That is pretty nice, although you do get that on the Gen 5 Glicks. One of the downfalls, I'm not sure why they didn't fix it, is the mag release. The Gen 3s are famously small and they kind of suck. Glick did fix this in the Gen 5s, but for some reason, Ruger opted to go with an exact copy of the Gen 3 mag release, which is lackluster at best. I have not noticed anything good, bad, or different about the polymer, except for the fact that it seems a smidge harder than the Glick polymer. And I do enjoy the color, it's fancy. One of the main selling points is you can change out the grip or the lower frame of the gun, which is the part that's made by Magpul, because the inner workings, the trigger mechanism are all serialized. That's the gun, this is just the plastic it sets in. That's pretty cool. I'm still waiting for the 17 or the 45 grip. I don't know, they got another one out there. I'd love to try those out, but that doesn't really add any practicality to the sidearm. That's just marketing, if we're being honest. The two things I would say are actually better on the Ruger as opposed to a G19 are this little supple dovetail and the universal dot mounting. They got those right. Magpul knocked it out of the park with the lower slash grip. Stippling is actually pretty good. It doesn't grab on your clothing like some of the CZ or M&P stuff, but it does provide traction whilst fondling your sidearm with greasy or wet hands, which is good. Yeah, they've got these serrations up here on the slide. That seems to be kind of the thing that everyone does now. It looks pretty all right. And if you're going purely off of looks, the RXM is rather a handsome sidearm. I'll give it that. One of my big complaints is the fact that it is a handsome sidearm. Let me explain. So your standard Gen 3 Glick is sort of rounded and tubular in nature, and it's designed that way for a reason. This has a lot of angular and sharp edges. This makes it uncomfortable to carry concealed, especially in appendix, for extended periods of time. Ask me how I know. I carried this for a couple months. I know, before you guys get all weird, oh, you can lose about 50 pounds and it won't hurt you. That is total malarkey. Metal in angular shapes is more prone to be uncomfortable than metal in rounded shapes. It's pure logic, really. In terms of reliability, this blows the PSA dagger out of the frickin' kiddie pool. It bounces off the grass backyard and into the neighbor's pool. This has been almost as reliable as a non-broken new Glick. And again, obviously, through my testing, I was more than abrasive towards it. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is if you take care of this sidearm, it will be reliable. That has been my experience with this one. So if you're looking for a reasonably reliable, somewhat affordable Gen 3 Glick clone, the rug pull Ruger is your strawberry. All you dagger goofs out there that say, oh yeah, this and that, I don't want to have a friggin' Glick, buy you one of these. It's better, it's more reliable, and guess what? It runs pretty okay on both Magpul and Glick Mag. This, however, brings up an interesting point that I've talked a lot about on the channel. Why would you buy this when you could get this for the same price? I don't know. Overall, I would say the Ruger gets a 6.5 out of 10. It is pretty decent. Thanks for watching the video. I would like to say thank you to each and every channel member. You guys are freaking awesome. All you supporters out there in the ether, you're pretty cool too, but you know, members are... Sorry it took so long, fellas. I just wanted to be sure I had all my quacks in a stack and I knew exactly what I was talking about. I do believe I've spent more time with this sidearm than most other people on the lube tubes.